7. We are recording with both Craig and Jark. We have... Let's see. I already made my map for the top floor, even though you guys aren't there yet. So I think we are good to go. Now, normally I don't do pregame questions if we're in the middle of a Normally I don't do pregame questions if we're in the middle of a level, but since we haven't played in a while, I wouldn't mind having the brain cleanser. So let's pick one. Now, I think I've already done most of the pregame questions I have with you guys at some point or other. The 51. I don't think we've done this one yet. Okay, cool. Today's pregame question is, how important does your character think money is?
I do feel like we've done that one before.
Do you think we've done it before for these characters?
I thought we did.
Yeah, I hope I'm not overlapping that we did this for the first campaign.
Okay, does anybody remember their character's response to this?
I feel like I remember Lunara responding to this question. It may have been one we answered in season 1. I don't remember if we did it for this one.
Okay. Do you guys want to go with that?
Okay.
Or, okay, actually,
Yeah.
Dealer's choice. It's between that or what is your favorite dish?
Favorite what?
Food dish?
Oh, food dish.
Okay, that's a different question.
Yeah. I think we probably have some more bones on how important do you think money is. Although,
Bones.
I think that the answer's pretty obvious for most of our characters, but let's go with money since it sounds like I think we did that last campaign and not yet in this one. So, Aeneas, do you want to start with Lunara?
Aveline, but yes.
God, hey, listen.
Uh-huh.
Remember
Yo.
when I said that we needed to do this because it's been a long time since I've played?
Yeah.
I did that like 2 games ago. I'm like, yo, man, I can't wait to go hang out with Lenara.
I miss her sometimes. She's great.
For real
Oh,
though,
yeah.
Lunara would kick it so hard with this group.
Oh, dude, she'd fit right in. She'd be so great. So Aveline, I would say that Aveline likes having a lot of money, but I don't think she's ever really grappled with the concept of not having a lot of money because Aveline's kind of always been in a position of privilege. Like, she was kind of roughing it with the Children of the Warp for a bit, but I'd say she enjoys having a lot of money. She doesn't like value it to a point where it would make her like vain or like a stereotypical rich asshole, but I think that is definitely something that, yeah, like I don't think Aveline's actually really grappled with the possibility of having less.
Yeah.
And she likes to shop a lot, so like I don't know, Aveline could totally like in the future just like end up in a scenario where like she just doesn't have anything and she's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like if Aveline lost all of her savings and had to go, pick up a minimum wage job, it would her opinions might change very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like it would.
That's a very good
Aveline
answer.
in
I
a
like that a
minimum
lot.
wage job would be very disastrous. I can just.
Yeah.
I feel awful for all of the customers that make her angry.
Roy, Amil, mate.
Are we doing the money one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a whole lot of I don't think that I value it all that much. But like when I do value it, it's like I don't value money until there's this one thing that I really want to get, and then it means a lot, right? Does that make sense?
I feel like Amil would see money very much as a like a tool or resource, and you know,
Yeah.
I think that Amil would probably, you know, get frustrated if he ran out of money and wasn't able to continue on a project he was doing, in the same way that he would get frustrated if he ran out of like titanium.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
Okay, that's good.
I'm pretty sure Mate understands how money makes things work in the world now, but doesn't really hold any true value on like what things are worth, as opposed to like how they make them feel, right?
Could you say that again?
So like Mate isn't really interested in the idea of amassing like vast amounts of wealth, but is really into how the things they have around them make them feel. So like that provides value, as opposed to like we get money at the end of missions. That money, Mate probably has a lot more money than Mate goes to let on to the group, because what do they spend it on really?
Yeah.
True.
I also feel like Mate is also the type to like he probably also attributes more value to the trinkets that he collects throughout like our adventures than I would think he does to traditional money, like, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think Mate's kind of like the person who goes out with a group of friends and doesn't understand the concept or really the meaning behind like what all of their money means to them. So they go ahead and they order bottle service for the entire establishment, not knowing that that's like you're spending a lot of money.
Oh, he's so precious. I love him.
So Mate in this case has some similarities to Aveline, but in kind of coming from a different direction.
Yeah, I think it all kind of stems from the planet that they were stationed on. They were still in like the bartering phase. So people didn't like it wasn't monetary, like transacting for services and stuff like that.
Yeah, they probably had some coinage, but it was certainly not at a like credit system.
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference between the amount of money you own is the amount of coins you have like in a pouch under your bed, as opposed to the amount of money you own is an abstract concept in a bank plus stock.
Yes. There you go.
Roy.
Roy is disgusted with money.
Sounds
Roy,
about right.
Roy views money as something that makes biologicals weak, broadcasts their desires, and it's something that he uses primarily as leverage in his dealings with them.
I have a perfect
So
response to this.
Roy is. I haven't thought about whether or not he has access to large sums of money or not. He probably does have access to large sums of money, but he's the type of person who would, be like, do like the Joker in The Dark Knight and just burn a pile of money in front of you to make you cry so that you'd give him what he wants.
You know what I imagine with Roy? I imagine Roy doesn't have a lot of money like in savings or anything. I like to just imagine that Roy still has the like codes and knows all of the like dash locations that the Children of the Wharf used, even, or not children, the Children of Mendenshire.
Yeah.
Even if only unconsciously, like in the back of his head. But it's like anytime he needs money, he just like, goes to the ATM and puts in these digits, and then he has the money he needs.
Yep. The whole idea or ethics around like stealing or money being valuable to a point where it should be like respected when it's in some person's possession. He doesn't have any of that at all. Like,
yeah,
he will take from random spots. He will take money from random ATMs, but he'll also just give away money if it will get him what he wants.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, is everybody in roll 20?
Yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the other hand, I will say that Roy really is like all about energy. Like, as like the physical expression of, or not physical expression, but like, well, physical expression of energy. Any kind of transfer of energy, energy creation, energy movement, and that I would think goes to his machine or non-human heritage.
Does Roy
Energy and
Roy
energy
just have a
structures were the things that his whatever he was probably moved along.
Does Roy have a closet in the Gemini that's just full of like barrels of crude oil and batteries?
I wouldn't say oil, but battery. Oil, because oil is just old biological matter. He would see that as decay. But batteries, he probably highly prizes. No, not probably does. Highly prizes batteries and other energy containing devices.
Yeah. So by this lot, so does Roy like worship antimatter? It's like the efficiency is incredible.
I wouldn't say worship, but he thinks it's really cool.
Ah.
I mean, he's like when you think of people who are like really like amped just about how like the stock market and like transfers of money and investments and all that shit, Roy is like that about energy.
Mm.
Do you find that Roy is more inclined to want to be around Mate because of the systems that drive Mate's body?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would say that there is probably a bit of like, you know how Roy thinks that Mate has some sort of defect that's sometimes making him behave in ways that are more sympathetic towards organics than he thinks makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of jealousy in that too. He's like, this motherfucker got his own slick ass robot body walking around here thinking he's all cool and he's helping this trash.
Okay. That tracks.
You're like very upset that your brain takes 500 watts of sugar to run, and Mate's takes like 30 watts of like DC. Like,
yeah. Like all the forms of energy in the fucking universe, all I can do is break down goddamn sugars. This is fucking bullshit.
What's that meme? It's like there has to be a better way.
You're gonna meet like a quantum computer like that runs off of like pure energy and just be like, I never want to leave this place.
Alright, so we have everyone is in roll 20. You guys are trying to get inside of a Red Corp facility to avenge Espere's father, and also I think for at least Roy and maybe some others who have just been like following along, partially just to find out what the fuck Red Corp is up to. So along the way,
wait, are we breaking into a facility or just going to a facility?
You're breaking in to
Gotcha.
you're halfway through breaking into a Red Corp research facility, it would seem. Things you have found so far in the courtyard, you found that devastated mech and found records that it was killed by unpiloted other mech. In the hallways around here, you found security guards in power armor where the guard was dead and the power armor just kept moving and shooting at you guys. You were able to take them out without too much trouble. You tried hacking into the system to, open doors and stuff along the way. And when Roy attempted to hack the system counter-hacked him pretty viciously and almost wrecked his tablet, I'm pretty sure.
That sounds about right.
And then as you guys were getting close to the elevator, which you could use to take up to the top floor, which is presumably where whatever is causing all this commotion is coming from, you had a conversation with a person over the intercom. She sounded like a young woman, and she was very upset that, basically very upset that people kept harassing her and wouldn't just leave her alone. And when you tried to get onto the elevator, she summoned up a bunch of divine light that coalesced into 5 Nephilim. The kind of Terran Empire warp entity equivalent of, like, demons, but of light energy. So, that is where the game ended last time.
5 of them?
5.
Word.
5. At least I have my scout mech.
You guys can look in Roll20 and get a good idea of what these things look like. They do not look at all like physical, biological creatures. They are
Very
beings
cool.
of just different kinds of light.
Characters from the game El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, check out that game. It's really fucking cool. And these character designs look... It's a mouthful, yeah.
Ascension of the Metatron. See? I did not know that. That's cool as hell. Although I do recognize this this cover image. This is really cool. Okay, so yes. Oh man, I'm gonna have to like really look into this after this game. Okay, so yes, we've got some Nephilim. They appeared and are moving towards you. Now, the way I've been doing combat, which I think just works better than it works a little bit better than what we've done in the past, is you guys are going to take actions and I'm going to have the enemies take reaction.
Okay.
So you guys, who do we think responds first to this situation? Also, you guys were technically in the middle of a conversation with the lady on the intercom, but it seemed pretty conclusive that she had like hung up when things appeared. That makes a difference.
Like she'll pick the phone back up when we're dead.
Yeah. So Roy, Bigsby, and Pascal, Aveline, Amil, any of you think you take the first shot?
I can say I don't think it would be me.
Okay.
How aware would either Bixby or Pascal be to like the beings of light? Like, aren't they kind of made of the warp too?
So Bigsby and Pascal are, because they are entirely artificial beings, they are what we call warp shadows, which means they have no connection to the warp whatsoever. Which interestingly means that they cannot be affected by they basically can't be affected by like status effects from warp powers, but they can be affected through physical interaction with the warp, such as a fireball or a big glowing arm getting stuck through them. Otherwise, I really doubt that they are particularly familiar with warp entities. It's your call, but it doesn't seem like they would be.
I would go no.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just like, I think if these beings just phased in as we were like dialing back on that conversation, they'd probably jump back to back and just get into like an alert stance.
Okay.
Can I ask a question real quick? Mm-hmm. What are the walls made of? This will be important.
Okay. Kevin, what do you think the walls would be made of in a very expensive, like, high security research facility?
High security research facility, I feel like they're going to be under the base is like a concrete, but a very smooth concrete, but then it is like layered with this like almost paper thin but extremely hard and slick plasteel type material. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like it's reflective, but it's does that make, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
But basically what I kind of want to do is like I want my mech to kind of like, let me just crawl, like I want to, like, it's kind of like bracing its legs between the two and like crawling up the wall. And have you ever seen those camera mounts where the like camera stays still but like the mount can shake all around? It's doing that with me. So it's like, could it like stabilize me while it's climbing up the wall and I'm like shooting? Do you know what I'm, kind of know what I'm talking about?
Given the physical shape of the mech and what we've described of it in the past, this seems entirely appropriate.
Yeah, cool.
This seems very much in line with how I've been imagining your mech. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I guess I'll just take one shot, right? At the, not the nearest Nephilim, but the farthest Nephilim.
Before you take a shot.
Okay. All right. No, sorry.
Before you take a shot, Roy notices that it was divine light that was used to summon these things. So as he sees Amil pulling out his weapon, Roy's eyes flash with divine light as well, and like a signal to stop what you're doing quickly. He turns around and faces them and says, "We are not antagonists. We are not demon kind." And he envelops his whole body in like the divine light energy to make himself look similar to them. It says, we come here with questions, not violence.
Okay.
I'm gonna crawl up into, my mech is gonna continue to, I'm not gonna shoot obviously, but my mech is gonna crawl up into the corner. So you know how like a spider will kind of like at the where the three corners of a wall meet, walls and the ceiling. I'm gonna like space up there, and I'm just sort of like perched.
Sure. So, Roy, you're going to need to roll either a occult or diplomacy or intimidation. And I'm looking at your skill sheet, and none of those are good for you. So, I think
no.
makes
So
the most
wait, what
sense
did you say? Sorry, what were the ones that I needed to? It would need to be one of which?
Occult, diplomacy, or intimidation.
Occult. I'm pulling up my character sheet. Occult, diplomacy, or intimidation. Well, I'm not trying to intimidate them, so I don't think that I would do that.
I mean, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I feel like occult is just super cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I am a Hierophant. I'm looking to see if I have any aspects or anything that could help.
Well, you can invoke your specialization is an aspect, and you can also use your high concept and stuff like that. So we'll keep those in mind, but you won't need any of those all of those come into play after you do the initial roll. So
Right.
let's start by just having you roll, I guess, a cult.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a cult. Hey, not too
9.
bad. Not terrible.
All right, so you are going to be struggling for control against the other person who is dominating these spirits. So
Okay, so we're dominating for or fighting for their
okay.
control.
So she her control over them is stronger than yours. You're gonna have to get it. If you can match 12, then you're going to be tied with her for control. In order to beat her for control, you're going to need to beat 12. The more dramatically you beat 12, the more, dramatic the results will be. So, what do you think? Do you want to start dumping fate points into it and try to get that 9 up to like a 13?
Yeah. Where are my fate points? How many do I have? Where are fate points on the character sheet?
In with health, it's in a section that I think is called resources or stress.
Yeah, I have 9 fate points. So
okay, so you're going to need some aspect to invoke to justify. I think you'll need at least 3 because you get a +2 for each of them, and you need at least a 13. So
I am going to use ego is inefficient as an aspect to invoke in this role. So
that's cool.
I am basically giving up, or not giving up, but walking away from the being that is Roy, the physical self, and trying to relate to these things on the medium of divine light.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, that's good. Now that will get you that'll get you started. You'll need 2 more, and remember, you're not limited to only using your own aspect. So you can also talk about like if there's anything or can make up about these creatures, or if there's anybody in your party or anything about the room or the situation in general that would give you some kind of advantage, you can cash in that as well.
I think having the aspect that synthetic brains are just better, even though my brain isn't synthetic, it's attempting to operate in a way that is beyond what is the operating capacity of a normal organic brain. So when I'm going along this occult divine light medium to try to communicate with these things, I'm doing so in a way that a normal organic would not even attempt to do. Go ahead.
So there was a thing I had discussed early on in the campaign about most people who are casters in one of the the traditions that is traditionally associated with one of the kinds of warp entities have warp companions that follow them around whether they know it or not. So people who are mystics will have demons that trail along behind them, kind of very scary versions of are they minnows that follow behind a whale, and stuff like that.
It's a special type of fish. I don't know. Animal Crossing taught it to me at one point.
Roy summons a divine light stand.
So
basically,
we established that Roy would not be associated with Nephilim because they are explicitly part of the Empire, and he's also not associated with any of the Aelfin light entities. So instead, we came up with these these primal divine light entities that were around before demons and before Nephilim and before all these things. These were just like the original consciousnesses in the warp before, you know, any kind of mankind or anything ever started fucking with it. And they were particularly interested in Roy because Roy was this new kind of consciousness they had never seen before. And in that light, that I think is that connection point between synthetic, you know, you have a synthetic mind and you're going to be able
Word.
to dominate these things. You are using that kind of like inherent fascination that they have with your mind. So that's 2. We need one more.
All right.
You can find one from yourself, or you can try to make up one from the environment and such.
Can you remind me what our interaction was with Professor Pooty
Oh my god.
back in the beginning of the game? Because I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, Roy had a huge problem with something that Belovin did, which basically removed the memories of some archaeology students and their interactions with demons.
Yeah.
And I feel like the ideas that Roy reviewed in his mind while coming up with that opinion, and using Professor Pooty's testimony, essentially invoking this aspect, would give him a way to relate to these Nephilim on that primal basis.
I really like that.
So instead of trying to control and dominate them, I'm trying to show solidarity and kinship with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're giving them a way out as opposed to no opportunity to have their own free will.
Yeah, not seeing them as tools, but seeing them as their own entities.
I love that. Players, are we all in agreement that that works?
I have 0 problem with that.
I really like that. I really like how those all came together. And this is like, by the way, this is one of my favorite things about the Fate system, is that instead of having like a big drawn out, you know, gunfight or whatever, which we could have here, it's instead like digging into Roy's history. Okay, so you spend 3 fate points. You have used those 3 aspects. That will get you up to a 13, which is enough that you have beaten her domination over these Nephilim. You're still wrestling with her over them. So it's not a, you know, huge night and day victory. It's not like you completely wrested control of these things and now they are your army. But I think that you have made them essentially like at a primal level incapable of attacking you and your companions, and they are just kind of locked in place with this struggle that's going on between the two of you. You guys are basically doing a tug of war over their like souls.
So much so that they are basically incapable. They're like kind of like stationary because
Yeah.
All right. So what?
I can't really do much else, though.
What do we think happens from here?
This is wild because either we start beating them up and take the advantage, or we leave. So here's my logic. If we leave Rory to keep contesting with this back and forth, can some of the group move ahead without Rory?
I want to pitch one thing. The person who summoned these was not in the room with you, so you would have no reason to believe that Roy would need to be in the room in order to...
We just keep moving. We keep moving, but we protect Roy because...
Like,
Roy's
I can come with
Roy.
you all, but like I can't like do a whole nother move with Divine Light or one of my other abilities. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be locked in concentration until the situation changes.
Yeah.
which I love. So is that the direction you're going? You guys want to just get in the elevator and move on?
Yeah, we're basically just protecting the cargo in Overwatch. So yeah, let's go.
I love it.
Let's go talk to this young woman.
So are you guys just going to call the elevator and get in the elevator and ride it up, or do you have a different plan?
Yes, but only under the condition, Brenn, that the elevator ride is very quiet and there's like elevator music playing, but like Roy is just this like divine light being sitting there and we're all just kind of like awkwardly like standing around.
Yep.
All right. So is that what y'all are doing?
Yeah, we're very
It's like
into
that office finger guns meme, but I'm sitting in the middle of it like Aang the Avatar, just glowing, kind of.
My only request is that it's the iconic elevator music from the original Dead Rising, or the iconic mall music.
Oh.
I think I can make that happen. Give me like 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're not going full blown dun 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 dun.
No, it's close to that though.
It's fantastic. I promise. It's perfect.
All right, I am revealing the elevator now. And there we go. All right. So when I was sketching this out, I didn't get into a lot of details with it. The thing with the elevator, so I'm going to move your characters into this space.
This is even better
Mike.
than I could have possibly imagined.
It's very like 1930s department store.
Brenn, this reminds me of the loading screen from that one game that we played on the Switch. Good job.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys
This
move
music,
into
though.
the elevator. You guys move into the elevator. Now, the shape of the elevator, on the screen here, the left and right half are both like ground floor, and then the top and bottom half have a bridge that connects them, and they are kind of elevated, and then you can walk under that bridge to move from the left half to the right half, and then there are stairs moving from the left and right half to the top and bottom half. None of that might end up being something that doesn't particularly matter, but you guys understand what I'm implying about the layout of this elevator?
I think we could.
Okay. And then the doors on the like upper the elevated part of the elevator are slightly, like half a floor elevated above the ones that are on the left and right sides. So you assume that probably has something to do with why it was designed this way. Anyway, so you guys get in the elevator and you start making your way up. Roy is locked in concentration. Now, there is a skill. I want to roll to see how... Oh, it's resolve. It's absolutely 100% resolve. Roy, can you roll resolve for me?
Yep. Hold on.
Okay, 11. That is going to be good enough. So you maintain the control for the at least the beginning of the elevator ride. Okay. Do any of the players want to do anything before I make a move?
No.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
would say Pascal is just watching in amazement.
Who else is with us? Aveline and
You have
Esperez and
Esperez
Anwar.
and Anwar, who is doing kind
That's
of
who that was.
bodyguard duty
Cool.
for Esperes. Okay. So
I think Roy would look over to Anwar and say, "Keep an eye on Esperes. You biologicals are unpredictable when you lose something."
Scary.
Yeah,
I mean, all I'm saying is
Anwar
Esperes
gives
just lost his
you-
dad, and he got a whole lot of guns on him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Anwar gives you a like knowing nod, like he gets it and he agrees. I'm dropping in the next map now. Let's see. Here we go, Tower Top. And create a new page. Grid is off. Okay. All right, I'm starting to move you guys over.
What do you want, Malik?
Now, the map is going to be empty here at the beginning because I have not populated it yet. But let's go to maps.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, so okay. So I'm going to brush over one of the next conflicts, and then I'm going to start wrapping things up because I have a surprisingly bad headache that just completely ambushed me.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
I feel
Yeah,
you.
you're fine.
I have as well.
Okay, and then let's move you also to the front. Okay, so y'all are really cramped in this elevator. You guys see this room I have you all in?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, give me a second because I'm going to. Fog of War is on, and I'm gonna reveal just the room outside of the one that you're in. By the way, Kevin, so I have a pro membership with Roll20.
Yes.
I like donate and stuff. And I was talking with one of my friends about how we do how to handle terrain and line of sight when we play Warhammer online. And this friend pointed out that there is a literal line of sight tool you can use in Roll20 that is like you draw in like
it like dynamically shifts based off of your character's position, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen.
So that theoretically could be co-opted to help us like with line of sight stuff in when we do Warhammer stuff. Okay. So you guys get in the elevator. It starts rumbling as you are moving up. Now I wanted this to be a longer scene, but we're running out of this level is running long, and also I, Brenn, am running out of time as a human being. So,
Oh no.
Don't say it
so
like
as
that.
you guys are doing the elevator ride up, how many people into like a large elevator a few minutes while it gets to its destination? This is a video game
This
scene
is like,
some of you are familiar with.
say again, I think
just
you cut
the
off.
Mass Effect riding the elevator.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
and
There's like,
and as is you know, as is traditional in such a scene, you will of course have different things attacking you on every floor that you stop at.
no.
oh god.
Oh, this is Turtles in Time. Oh no.
Yeah. Or
Wow,
Resident Evil
classic.
5, or I think Resident Evil 4, or that one scene in Resident Evil 6, or
It happens a lot in Resident Evil.
that one scene in, I'm pretty sure Mass Effect has one of these.
Xenogears? Are we
any
forgetting
given
Xenogears?
Xenogears had one too. Any given video game where your characters get in an elevator and then have to just like get to the top floor, but along the way they get attacked like a dozen times. That happens, but I'm not going to go moment to moment through the chaos. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a couple people to volunteer to be the people who are in charge of doing all the shooting. I'm going to have you guys do some shoot rolls to see how well you did. And then, depending on if you guys do like very badly on your rolls, then the combat got heated enough that Roy might have been distracted, and Roy will have to make another resolve check.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I think our robot buddy cops would be shooting all the way.
Okay, there should be a character sheet for those guys, and I'm pretty sure they have a.
Yeah, I think I would also shoot, right?
Okay.
I feel like that is.
What kinds of enemies are they attacking?
So it's going to be mostly like wall turret and security drones, but Roy is not going to be able to do any combat because Roy is busy concentrating.
Oh no, look at my roll.
No!
Oh, no!
Use fate points or something.
No, I think I have to, but like I don't know what aspect I would invoke for that, you know? Like,
yeah.
That's just...
I don't think there's anything that makes you particularly well suited to handling this situation. So, Bixby and Pascal rolled an 11, which is good enough that I think they managed to, but because Amil rolled poorly, I think the result is going to be that Roy is not hurt and therefore does not need to make another resolve check, and we have to worry about like all the stuff that could go wrong there. Instead, all of the other players are going to have a chance of getting hurt.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a 6-sided dice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Well, I won't roll for Morgan's character because he's not here. I'm going to roll 4 times, and that is the amount of damage that your character took. So
okay.
1, 2, 3,
Nice.
4 in clockwise order. Amil, you took 4 damage. Do you have any armor?
Do I have what? No. I mean, I think my scout mech has armor, but...
So you have mechanics overalls that give you 1 point of physical armor. I'm gonna say that these are laser beams, because it's pretty rare that we take elemental damage, and I'm picturing these things very much like the little laser things you fight at the beginning of Final Fantasy VII. So,
The music seems to agree with that statement, Brenn.
Yeah. So, Amil,
Fucking
your
Battletoads.
I have a character sheet for your thing. Everybody else should be looking up their if they have any armor under their inventory. Everyone except for Roy and Bigsby and Pascal, which I think just means Aveline.
Let me just double check, because not like.
Structural bonus is 1. Okay, so Amil, do you want to take that damage to your meat body or to your robot?
Meat body. Although it's not meat body, it's plasmoid.
Okay, so 2 of that damage is reduced by your overalls. They're
Okay.
well designed to dissipate, heat and stuff that could come up during engineering work. So it's not too bad for you. So you took 2 points of stress.
Nice.
Esperes took 7 points, which is not great considering he is just a little boy.
Yeah. This kid's getting shot the fuck up.
Damn.
We're gonna address that in a second.
Yeah, this fits for like our super weird dark future that we have going on here.
Are we bad people?
Music, though.
No, we're not bad people.
No, we're not. No.
The world is bad, and we're just making our way through it.
what's the Principal Skinner meme? Like,
oh, it's not the kids who are wrong. Yeah, no, it's the kids.
It's the children who are wrong. Okay, so Anwar gets some of his damage reduced by armor. I think he has the same type of armor as Ruda, which means he has a ranger's armored cloak, so he gets 3 points reduced from his 9. He is down to... So he took 6 points of damage. Okay, so the last up is Aveline. Aveline, do you have any armor in your inventory?
I have 2 pieces of armor. So I have my Psionic Ward Talisman, which is 2 physical armor, it looks like. And then, or 2 psychic armor, I would guess that is. Sorry. And then I also have my Fashionable Outfit, which is 1 elemental armor. But that's it.
I forgot about that. Okay. So you're going to take 8 points of physical stress, which is that's half of your health. And
not
it
great.
is enough that you're going to get a pretty nasty consequence.
Oh man, I already have a lame Rogo leg. This is not.
I feel personally responsible for this.
So, Aveline, this happens. You are so the elevator is happening. Bigsby and Pascal are on either side of Roy, shooting away at these curtains as they pop out of the walls. And let me look at stress and consequences. Yeah, so you have a lame robo leg. You're going to have to take I think you're going to take another moderate consequence, which is a moderate consequence is like a significant hampering of some kind.
It's 1 level, or I guess it's like basically the halfway point in terms of like what we have set up.
Yep. So a mild would be like something is sprained or bruised or like damaged in a way that you can continue working through it. Moderate is damaged in a way that you cannot completely ignore. Severe is permanent, like, damage. So we could say if we were talking about a wrist, or like hands, mild would be like sprained wrist. Moderate would be like you have a big cut across your wrist or like your palm, or you have like a big burn on your hand or something, a severe consequence would be like somebody took a splash out of your hand with a machete, and now half of your hand is hanging off. And
Yikes.
extreme would be you
Ow.
no longer have a hand. So
Yikes.
with that in mind, moderate consequence you took during this elevator ride with the laser turret and little. I'm imagining the other things that are attacking you are little like spider type drones, spider type like robots, but with like laser guns on their back. So during all this commotion,
Wall with
how
the
does Aveline get
replicators
hurt?
is going poorly. Sorry, Stargate Joe.
You said we're being attacked like primarily by like laser beams. Do you think she's just like take a nasty burn?
I think a burn makes sense. Where do you think she gets burned? If it's one of these little spider things that does it, so it's gonna come from one of two places. Either it's coming from a wall-mounted turret as the elevator is going up, in which case she would be getting hit from above, or it's one of these spider things that climbed up on the floor while she wasn't looking, and she got shot from below, which I think that's a little bit more interesting. What do you think?
I'm trying to make it like I know we want to do it like moderate, like, and we've already gone like legs, so like I kind of want to avoid something else happening to my legs. So I'd be willing to do the route of I got a nasty burn on my sword arm, and that's gonna mess me up.
I like that. Yeah. Okay, I added laser burn on her sword arm as a consequence.
I also just need to note that in the midst of this, her outfit that was very fashionable was also very likely burned. She's just as upset about that.
So I think what happens is you see this thing climbing up over the lip of the elevator, and it is like charging up its laser to shoot at Esperez, who has already been hit once at this point. And I don't know. How does Aveline protect Esperez and get hurt in the process?
I think like she probably shoves him down to the floor so he's under that lip of the elevator that the robot climbed up, and she takes the shot. And like I also just want to note that at this point, Aveline has pretty much shoved Esperez in the corner, and she's just like, if you can shoot around me, do that, but don't move.
Okay. That's great. I like the idea of you got hit in your sword arm. So actually, you didn't get hit when you first pushed down Esperez, but then you tried lashing out to hit this thing, and it was just a little bit outside of your reach, and it got you in the arm while, as you whiffed the attack. And then Esperez pulled out his, double shotguns out of his sleeves and popped the thing from behind you. So the elevator ride goes on like that. It gets pretty gnarly, and but you guys manage to out all of the things. You get to the top floor, and with a ding, the elevator opens, and you can see the room that you're in. So now I'm going to move you guys out of the elevator a little bit, just spread y'all out. We're not quite as quick here. Okay, so the room that you're in is a octagonal hallway. I'm going to say the hallway is about about 40 feet from one side to another. So, larger than I think the elevator itself was the size of a person's living room. This is 3 living rooms, side by side, lengthwise. There are 4 doors coming out of this hallway. They are not open. And that is where I'm going to stop it for today, because I think this would be a great point for her to contact you again and do some monologuing, and I'm just not up for that.
No, but this is
Well,
interesting.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah, me
definitely.
too. But this is
I've
an
been having
interesting game.
weird headaches.
I think there was some really cool scenes in the game, really cool visuals.
Yeah, especially considering how short we played for. I think that we had some cool stuff going on. I really like this idea of the traditional like video game escort mission where you have like one character who's channeling a powerful spell and everyone else has to protect them.
Yeah.
Except it's interesting that character is Roy, and I think Roy has fallen into that trope a couple times now.
Brenn, I have a quick question.
Yeah, he's been going more in the direction of cleric almost.
Yeah.
Can we end on one scene? Can we get like can we get a small like cut scene where we find out what all of those light creatures downstairs are doing now that they're just kind of like hanging out?
Yeah. No, I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna move us back to the first floor, and go ahead and move you guys, and then I'm gonna hide this area, reveal this area. So, what's happening with these guys is, because they have two different masters who are like dominating their, enforcing their will over them, you end up with something that looks the place where you most often see this is like robot malfunctioning in any good like sci-fi thing, where it kind of looks like they are just having like a seizure. Like their limbs are just moving in like meaningless bursts, as if okay, so if you imagine like a robot and one person was piloting the robot from inside and a second person had like a remote control and was piloting that robot with the remote control. And so every input that either pilot provides it happens. That's kind of what you're getting. One person says like walk straight, the other says like turn right, and so it's its legs are moving in ways that they're not supposed to move together, and they end up just kind of like rolling on the floor, thrashing and struggling to do anything. Cool. And that's where they're at.
Cool.
All right.
I like that. It's a good note to end on. Okay.
That packed a lot in.
Okay, and so next game, you guys will get to meet the Mistress of the Tower and finally start solving some mysteries. All right.
Hell yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go sleep, and I will. I'll talk to you guys all soon.
Next week, or we'll play it by ear.
We'll figure it out in the scheduling.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good week. See y'all.
Bye.
Peace.